Air is a verbatim play. It's about the Orang Seletar that used to live in Singapore, even way before our independence.
They used to live like a nomadic lifestyle where they would like roam around and then dock at different sites.
But they have been displaced because of independence, and right now they are living in Johor Bahru.
I think IA is also an excavation of a history that we are not aware of and a part of identity that we have forgotten.
In 2018, there was an independent researcher, Kami. She wanted to collect oral history interviews of the Orang Seletar. The both of us, together with a third member, Ruslina, we started collecting the interviews of the Orang Seletar, and then it just snowballed into this current project. So part of the research process actually involves the cast and crew staying with the Orang Seletar at their village over 2 nights.
There was that moment when we had to do foraging within the mangroves. And the moment we stepped into mangroves, we couldn't find our balance. However, there was this elderly. When she walks on the land, you can see her trembling. But when she went into the mangroves, she was like leaping and moving so quickly, and we were so handicapped. Our movement in the mangroves just reflect how much we are, as land people.
Verbatim play requires a lot of accountability. I have to choose the things that they have said. I have to mold a structure around the play. When it is presented to the audience, it tells the story of the Orang Seletar from their own perspectives.
It's difficult for us to be authentic in terms of how we look, how we try to create the world. Probably we could try, and as much as we can, to connect with empathy on that kind of vulnerability that they feel. And of course, we probably will have a device to allow us, in a way when we're presenting it, to make it clear that we can't represent them, but we're representing what we understood of that experience.
And I think there's a responsibility of ensuring that we are not co-opting our own struggles. Also having that awareness that while we might see some similarities, we might relate, but we have to understand the entirety of that.
We get to tell the story from the older generation of the Orang Seletar to the most youngest of the Orang Seletar. I think that's the rewards, and it's a true story. Nothing is made up.
For me, it's the trust and the friendship that I have built with the villagers. I think the friendship also goes beyond just this project lah.
It's been 5 years since we did a 2019 play, and people grow up, people grow old. We added another character, a younger character who's a mother, and we hope it injects a bit of youthfulness, a bit of hope into the play.
This time around, I feel a bit more equipped to explore these narratives from an actor's perspective, from the people who we interact with and the stories that come from this community.
We've chosen a traverse stage. It sort of brings the audience closer to what's happening. The audience can see each other. So they then become implicated in this world. It's also about us and what our relationships with the people in the play.
For me personally, knowing the stories of the Orang Seletar made me change the way I think about my country, and I hope that people who witness the show also undergo that process.
IA is an important play because it records, it documents Singapore history. This group of people who used to live in Singapore, who used to live in the waters around Singapore, and they call it their home. It gives platform for these voices to be validated, that they once called this place home, and perhaps we, as Singaporeans, should also validate their existence.
And I think it gives an opportunity for us to hear about the people who were there before.
It allows us to see certain potentials that we can be as Singaporeans, as people of this land, or as part of this archipelago.
Don't laugh lah.
Okay, sorry. Start again.
At Esplanade,
No, we missed out Studios 2024.
Join us at Air
as part of the Studios 2024.
At the Singtel Waterfront Theatre.
At Esplanade from 12 to 14 July 2024.